bringing the people behind our food to life.
When I grew up doing this, I didn't enjoy it. I was forced to do it as a kid. And I came back to it and I realized I really enjoyed cutting meat. It's either in you or you don't, and it's a challenge because it's the same thing every day, but it's always different because every carcass is different, and that's what makes it hard because of the repetition, but you have to concentrate at the same time, so it's a challenge, and I'm a challenge-based person. I enjoy a good challenge. Those are the things that really drive me to do this. This is a all grass-fed Wagyu, which is what the Kobe beef breed is. What gives me the opportunity to be an artisan butcher is because of my experience and background in fabricating all different breeds of animals, all different sizes of animals, all different ages, all different ways they've been fed and finished. When I receive carcasses, I can determine the feed and the texture of the meat by look. What I'm looking for is confirmation to be the muscle that's outside of the bone. And so you're looking for ribeye size, you're looking for a muscular animal. You want to see some muscle on the bone. Secondly, you're looking at the fat cover. You want to see a certain amount of fat cover on it, which will indicate with that fat on the outside, you'll see some marbling on the inside. Secondly, you're looking at the color of the fat. The color of the fat will generally be different shades of yellowish white depending on the feed. The whiter the fat is, tends to be a grain finished product. The yellower the fat will go to a grass-fed product and or an older aged carcass. So when you get to that point, then you have to look at the skeletal structure of the animal. And there's certain characteristics within this skeletal section of the carcass that will indicate an approximate age of the animal. So those are all things I'm scanning when I receive carcasses immediately. There's very few artisan butcher shops anymore because of one, the cost of doing it. And generally the training that you need to have. I was fortunate or misfortunate enough to grow up in the industry. So I was trained by a professional meat cutter. You don't have the opportunity to learn this trade anymore because everything's been commercialized. It's gone large, it's gone to grocery stores. So those grocery store guys can't do what I do. They have no background in it. On top of that, if you come from a slaughter facility, like a large plant, it's on a conveyor belt system where those guys are isolated on just breaking a certain portion down. They don't know how to take the whole animal apart, where I can do it from start to finish. Secondly, it's hard work. And it takes, a good 2 years of cutting meat every day to actually learn how to fabricate in an efficient way that you can actually make money at. Because we get paid by the pound, not by the hour, so you have to huff. You have to put it out there, slam it out there at the same time, create a beautiful product, because I'm framing a photo with the beef that I cut. Some of the most important things that I value as a meat processor would be, it's really simple, it's honesty. There's a lot of shades gray in the meat industry, and you really don't know where things are coming from and the claims that are being made. And I've always been one that wanted to be treated the way I treat the people I work with. And so I've just been honest. When people wanted the opportunity to come to my facility, I have an open door policy. I have nothing to hide. You can watch me cut it up. I'll give you the opportunity. I can put you on a hook and you can hang there and watch the beef age. I'm going to be honest about what I'm processing. If you ask me if I think your beef's good, I'm going to tell you yes or no. And I will also tell you why it's, in my opinion, it's not good or bad. Or if it's great, I'll let you know that as well. I just think people deserve to know where their food is coming from, how it's being raised, the handling of it, the humane treatment, there's no growth hormones in it. There's a face behind these animals. The people are raising these cattle really are passionate about what they're doing, and they should be acknowledged. It shouldn't be this coming out of this box that says IBP. They should say Gleason Ranch, Harlow Ranch. All these different growers should be acknowledged for the hard work that they do.
First and foremost, I am an animal lover, and if they are fed well, taken care of well, respected for the 2.5 years of their life here, what's important to me is all the way through to when they end up on a plate, that the chef or the restaurant does the same thing. They honor and they respect that animal.
I always just really enjoy being around the animals, because just because I cut them up doesn't mean I don't love animals.
Their family core values and how they do things coincide with my values as a human being as well as someone in the meat industry. And so we've worked long and hard to create business opportunities for herself and myself to expand locally grown meats in the Northwest. I'm very proud that I'm able to do this and work with people, because it's so hard to do, and there's very few people that are doing it, and I'm hoping to keep people farming. If you get me on a soapbox, one of the things that it really bothers me is to see all the farms that I used to go to as a kid and farm slaughtering with my dad, and they're now housing developments. And it bothers me to see that, that these farmers just decided to give up or to sell out, and no one's continued this way of life, because it's a great way of life, and people need to consider keeping that farm and keeping it going, because once it's gone, it's gone.
I got one recently questioning about the grass-fed beef, and I said, well, you, like any other member, can come on down to the shop anytime you want. I just given that opportunity for people to find where their food's coming from, because people want to know. They should know. It shouldn't be a secret.